I'm James Roach. I'm the Associate Provost for Enrollment Management, so I oversee undergraduate admissions and financial aid. Well, as one of the top research universities in the country, what we like to do is bring together a very diverse collection of students, and have them learn not only from our faculty, but from each other. It's great for folks to learn not how different they are, but how similar we all are.
My name is Craig Strehorn. I'm the Assistant Provost of Enrollment Management, and I'm mainly responsible for our overseas international admissions. I think part of the reason for recruiting in China is, well, there are many reasons. One is that there's just a critical mass of students. There are obviously more students that are college ready and want to study abroad in China than any country in the world. So some of it's just simple economics. But I think also one thing that makes recruiting in China really interesting is that a lot of students in China are really fascinated with the United States and fascinated with Western culture. And so the challenge of studying at a really top-rate university in their second language to get a degree seems to them like a very interesting life challenge. And also something that's going to help them in their lives with employment. I mean, I think the students from China that we see, by and large, are very well-rounded students. I mean, one of the things that catches our eye about students, especially from China, is how much they're showing us that they want to be what we're calling a global citizen. How much do they really want to come and engage at the university? We see a lot of students that really haven't done a lot of research on what it means coming to the U.S. They might be looking at rankings or hearing from family and friends, but they really don't know what might be available to them on a U.S. campus. And so we're expecting students to be able to hit the ground not only with conversational English and not only with academic English, but also be ready to join in different social aspects of the university, take advantage of clubs, take advantage of athletics and so forth. One thing I think that Chinese students aren't used to as readily as American students is asking for help. American students, they're kind of taught, well, if you're having some trouble, raise your hand and ask. There's so many places on our campus to get help, but it's hard for us to make that compulsory for students or to find the students who need help when it's a big school. Also, what a lot of, I think, Chinese students don't understand is that in the Western classroom is changing very quickly. Lots of Western classrooms are now what we call flipped classrooms, and that means there's a lot more team-based learning. There's lots of group learning. I guess another challenge is really helping students with understanding the university system, especially how majors work, that there's much more fluidity amongst majors once you get to a university campus in the United States. American students change their major quite a bit, and some majors are easier to change into and some are more difficult, but international students are used to working very hard. Chinese students work, truth be told, much harder than most of the domestic students. And so Chinese students might get here and also find it challenging that they have so much free time, that they might be in class maybe 12 or 14 hours a week, where they were in that a day in China. And so what do they do with that free time? Many students here decide to double major. If they get a little help from a professional advisor, they can quite easily double major or at least minor. But they often ask, how many Chinese students do you have? How do these Chinese students perform? What are some of the opportunities do they have for work or internships are very common questions. But then we also get a lot of questions about what it's like to live here, because it's not in a city. And so they wonder, what is it like to live in a suburban or rural area? What is transportation like? Is it safe? What about food? Lots of students in big cities want to know what it's like to live, someplace where it's just the air is so clean. We've begun to speak of it as we do not have a lot of environmental stress. And so recently, when we were in China, we talked a lot about how living in a city can provide a lot of environmental stress. You're there maybe to go to school and concentrate on school, but you also have to concentrate on the line at the bus stop, or the line at the subway station, or wearing a mask, or trying to get around town on your bicycle. And those are just things you don't have to worry about here. And so you can spend that part of your brain doing other things. Obviously, most students aren't going to be able to visit our campus before they get here, but there's lots of ways to engage with us. They can certainly engage through Chinese social media very easily. We get back to students within 24 hours. We're hoping that they're going to come here and get a fantastic education, but also do 1 or 2 internships. We recommend that all international students do at least 2 internships, one here in the US, and I recommend they do one at home, because lots of students end up going home, and they can do them in the summer. This is great experience for them.